The cargo hold is another great accessory to hold tools and equipment at the top of a number of our multi-purpose ladders so that you have your hands free to actually get work done. The cargo hold is designed with a divider in the middle. Put tools or equipment up here at the top with you. You'll notice that there are even bungees to hold small tools, whether they're screwdrivers or a small wrench. And on the outside, both the left and the right have a pocket so that you could hang cell phones or other tools that you need at hand. A belt loop here will hold a hammer or other tools off to the side. It's designed with these two bales so that you can put it in between your multi-purpose ladder. And that way, if your tools are nestled at the bottom, you can store them as you store your Little Giant ladder. With bales on both the left and the right, of course, you can hang it off to the side of the ladder, and that way tools are always within arm's reach, so you can concentrate on the job at hand. And a couple of quick reminders here, of course, always choose the right ladder for the job, set it up correctly, maintain 3 points of contact when you're climbing up or down any ladder. This is the cargo hold by Little Giant Ladder Systems. Hi, this is Kenyon from Little Giant Ladders, here to demo the Dark Horse. The Dark Horse ladder, really there are only two things to remember how to make this ladder operate. The hinge creates the shape of the ladder. This is it in the stored position. We push this in with the palm of our hand to the A-frame position. Do it one more time, an extension ladder. That's how we create the shape of the ladder. As far as the hinge goes, that's really all you need to remember. The rock locks are designed so that we give pressure down here towards the bottom. If you think of it like a lever, we're squeezing these in down here at the bottom, and that pulls a metal pin out from the inside. I do this one section separately, push the ladder opposite, and then these legs will go ahead and let gravity do the work for you. And we could lock it to its desired height. 1 foot increments, here, here, or here. Always make sure that that rock lock is fully seated. Do the same thing on this side. If we didn't do anything more, this is how we put the ladder in its staircase position. If we were in a stairwell doing work or unlevel ground, we would set these 1 foot intervals on this side independent to the 1 foot intervals on this side, and hand over hand, I can choose how long to make this the length of this side over here. You'll notice if this ladder was on flat ground, I'd be able to climb up this side and be right up next to the work. As long as this is 90 degrees or greater, the ladder would be good to climb. To make it into an extension ladder, we're gonna do exactly the same thing, just in a different position. I always like to lock these rock locks back into their locked position, unlock the hinge one more time, and we're gonna open this up to be its straight configuration. I like to do this on either the floor or the ground, so I'm not fighting the leverage of the ladder. Adjust the rock lock here and slide the ladder out to its desired height. If we were gonna make the ladder taller, we would do the same thing with the outer section that you see over here. And what I'm gonna do is lift the ladder here, flip it over. This is where I would foot this at the bottom of a building or against the foundation or some solid surface there at the bottom, and hand over hand, bringing it up into its desired extension height. To bring it back down, we're gonna do exactly the same thing. So I'm creating the length of the ladder here on the ground, unlock the rock lock, left and right, and bring it back down to its stored position. If your Dark Horse came equipped with the ratcheting leg levelers, you just simply adjust these. I do it with the bottom of my foot, and adjusting these to where they will be the length that you might need for unlevel ground, both inside or even outside. You'll see that this housing has a D-ring. You'll simply pull this D-ring completely perpendicular to the leg of the ladder, and it will slide back up into storage position. What I do when carrying the Dark Horse is to put my shoulder underneath. So 3 rungs up, 1, 2, 3, I would slip my hand or my shoulder underneath, and I would lift it like this. And again, with my right hand down here at the bottom, that would balance the load. So that's the way that I would normally carry a dark horse or any little giant ladder. If you would like to, you could do the two-handed method. Just tip it 90 degrees and carry it with your left and your right hand together. You could carry it that way. Another way that I've seen people carry little giant ladders is to open it up. And if you're in a situation where you have enough room, you could balance your load this way, like a couple of bags of groceries. Of course, the dark horse does have wheels included, so you can always close the ladder, tilt it back, again, low enough that those wheels engage, and you could simply roll it through the grass or the gravel with the wheels. Those are a couple of carrying techniques of the dark horse little giant ladder. Hi, this is Kenyon with Little Giant Ladder Systems, and today we're going to demo the ladder rack. The ladder rack is a great accessory to store a number of little giant ladders. It comes with the wood screws that you'll need to drill through and mount it inside the studs. You'll notice that from left to right, these are 16 inches. So once you find one stud on this side should line up well with the next stud. Once that's attached correctly, it has a 75-pound weight capacity so that you can hang your ladder vertically off of the top rung, and that way it's on the wall, out of the way, convenient and safe. A couple of quick reminders here, of course, always choose the right ladder for the job, set it up correctly, and maintain 3 points of contact when you're climbing up or down any ladder. This is the ladder rack by Little Giant Ladder System. Hey, this is Kenyon with Little Giant Ladders. Today we're going to demo the leveler. Your leveler came equipped with ratchet levelers that are internal on one side of the ladder. Simply step on this and extend those legs to their desired length. You'll notice that they're independent both on the left and on the right. You have these levelers to always make sure that your ladder is safe, level, on solid ground. When you're not using those, simply slide this tab up. They're spring assisted, so they'll slide back up into their storage position. The hinge creates the shape of the ladder. It'll lock here in the stored position with the palm of your hand reaching around and gripping these hinge plates. Make that a little bit easier. Squeezing that all the way in, rotating these legs around, and always make sure that that hinge is fully seated or locked. The only other thing for you to remember is to rotate these rapid locks. Pulls that metal pin out so that now you can lean the ladder this way and you can change how long or how high that ladder will be. We'll bring it as long as these rungs are parallel with these inner rungs, then that hole is going to line up with these rapid locks, and I can rotate that around again, make sure that that rapid lock is fully seated, bring that to its desired height. Do the same thing over here on the other side, rotating that rapid lock, and notice that I'm leaving this wide section at the bottom. My hand, left hand and right hand, just hand over hand, I'm pushing this to achieve the desired height. Lock those into place, and now your leveler is ready to climb. If you're going to use it on an unlevel surface or a hillside or even staircases, we're just going to make one side of this ladder shorter or longer than the other. You'll notice that now I can put the ladder up on a hillside, embankment, unlevel ground. Even staircases will make this change a little bit more dramatic. That's how you set your leveler in the staircase. If we're going to use it as an extension ladder, we're going to stored position. Unlock the hinge one more time and open this up. I like to do this either on the ground or outside on the driveway. Put it in its stored position, but in an extension ladder. Then we're going to rotate these rapid locks and extend it to be the length or the height that we're going to need to tackle the job. As long as those rapid locks are lined up with that hole, they're going to lock into place. But again, it's your responsibility to make sure that those are fully locked. We could extend the bottom half the same way to be the desired height. Then we're going to turn the ladder 180 degrees so that I'm facing the rungs. This is where I'm going to foot the ladder down here at the bottom against the foundation or a solid surface. And then again, hand over hand, raise the ladder up, leaning at a 75-degree angle, or what we refer to as a 4-to-1 ratio. That just means that for every 4 feet the ladder's going up, it should be 1 foot away at the bottom. It'll be at a 75-degree angle. To store your leveler ladder, we're going to unlock these hinges one more time with the palm of our hand, bringing it into its stored position. Don't forget about the wheels. When you need to cart it from one job to the next, just lean it at the correct angle so that you can move your ladder from job to job. That is the leveler ladder by Little Giant Ladders.
Hi, I'm Dave Francis from Little Giant Ladder Systems, and this is the HYPERLITE extension ladder. Now, it's lean, mean, and it's high-vis green, but why is it different from any other extension ladder? The biggest reason is we use a lighter, stronger fiberglass material that allows us to reduce the overall weight by as much as 20 pounds on a 24-foot ladder. Now, if you're moving that ladder around a lot during the day, that 20 pounds is going to be a big difference for you. A lot easier to set up, a lot less wear on your shoulders, knees, a lot less strain and sprain as you're moving it around. Now, some other safety features that we've added besides lowering the weight, the top 3 rungs of the ladder are bright red. Those are do not climb rungs, just to remind you. Do not climb those top 3 rungs. Or if you're climbing onto a landing or up onto a roof, to have those 3 rungs above the roof line, to give you something to hold on to as you transition on and off the roof. Now, one last thing that I want to show you is the rope. On Grandpa's ladder, the rope is right down the middle of the ladder, exactly where you climb it. We've moved the rope to the side of the ladder, gets it out of your way, and that allowed us to double pulley the rope system so you have a mechanical advantage when you're raising and lowering the ladder. You've seen this before. People wrap their hand up in that rope in order to get enough force to pull that ladder down. With that double pulley system, simply grab that rope and raise it up to that next position. So it makes it a lot easier to raise and lower that ladder using the mechanical advantage of those pulleys. The biggest advantage is the weight. 20 pounds lighter than a traditional extension ladder in the same size. It's rated at 1A, made of non-conductive fiberglass. That's the HYPERLITE by Little Giant Ladder Systems. Hi, my name is Dave Francis with Little Giant Ladders. We're going to take a few moments to talk about the operational components of our articulating Little Giant Ladder system. When you see somebody move a Little Giant ladder around, sometimes it might look a little complicated, but there's really only 2 mechanisms on the ladder that you need to know. The hinge lock at the top adjusts the shape of the ladder from the storage position to the A-frame position and then open into the extension position. All you have to do is press them in, they lock open, and then they lock themselves closed when they reach that next position. The other mechanism that you need to know about is the lock tabs on this side, or the rock locks. On this older ladder, you can simply pull them out and adjust the ladder in height. So the hinge locks adjust the shape. The rock locks, or the lock tabs on the side, adjust the height of the ladder. Now, the Little Giant ladder has evolved over the years, and we want to talk about the differences in those mechanisms. The hinge lock at the top looks a little bit different on all 4 of these ladders, but they function exactly the same. squeeze with your palm. That presses it in. It'll stay in the open position until it gets to the next usable position, and then it'll lock itself into place, spring-loaded. So just squeeze. They all work exactly the same. The lock tabs, however, are a little bit different. On this older model, you have to pull that pin out. It can actually go 360 all the way around. And then when you're going to lock it back in, you just put it back in the hole. On the rock locks, simply squeeze at the bottom until that locks itself open. And that allows you to adjust that in height. When you get to the usable height that you want, simply squeeze at the top and re-engage those rock locks. They come in a cast aluminum, also in a high impact plastic. They function exactly the same. Squeeze at the bottom until it locks open, and then squeeze at the top to re-engage. Now the new lock tab on the side actually twists. So to disengage this, you just twist it on both sides. That'll allow you to move the inner up and down to gain that height, and to re-lock them, simply twist them back into place and they lock into the holes. So they look a little bit different, but they all function exactly the same. The hinge locks at the top adjust the shape from an A-frame to a straight extension position and back to storage. The lock tabs, or the rock locks on the side, allow you to telescope the ladder open to different heights. So you can get all of the different positions from a Little Giant just by knowing how those two mechanisms work. That's the Little Giant adjustable ladder.
Hi, this is Kenyon with Little Giant Ladder Systems. Today we're going to demo the AIRDECK. The AIRDECK accessory is fantastic for a number of our multi-purpose ladders. Now, make sure in your instruction booklet if the AIRDECK is compatible with your Little Giant ladder. If you have any questions, you can always call the 1-800 number, consult with one of our customer experience representatives, and they can tell you if the AIRDECK will work with your ladder. The AIRDECK holds tools, recesses for hammers, putty knives, loose equipment up here, round gallons, and if we remove this receptacle here, we also have a place for quartz and a place to put the chuck of your drill or even a cup holder. It will hold up to 25 pounds worth of equipment. The other thing that the AIRDECK will do, as you climb the ladder, you'll notice that on your Little Giant ladder, there are receptacles to receive the AIRDECK in a vertical fashion. Your Little Giant ladder might be different. I'm showing you this on the select step. As you climb up the ladder, you'll also notice that the AIRDECK will hold your hands, giving you that balance, stability that's great as you climb close to the top of your ladder. By lifting this, now it's in a position where I can load that up with up to 25 pounds worth of equipment. To operate the deck of the AIRDECK, simply squeeze in these orange buttons that are facing towards you. As you're squeezing the left and the right, now you can slide that AIRDECK into its storage position. A number of Little Giant ladders will also receive the AIRDECK in a horizontal fashion. To remove the AIRDECK, you'll simply squeeze in these orange locks, and then you can slide that out. You'll now slide that AIRDECK in to the receptacles in a horizontal fashion. Always make sure that these are locked before loading that with equipment. And a few quick reminders here: always choose the right ladder for the job, set it up correctly, and maintain 3 points of contact when you're climbing up or down any ladder. This is the AIRDECK by Little Giant Ladder Systems. Hi, this is Kenyon with Little Giant Ladder Systems. Today we're going to demo the DSXL. The DSXL is a double-sided, heavy-duty fiberglass ladder. You'll notice that it's in high-vis green, so it's easy to spot. Double-sided at a 375-pound capacity means that you can put 2 people on the ladder at the same time, and nice, deep rungs for your comfort. The bottom rung is prepared with what we call the ground cue. The ground cue will remind you both through your ears and your feet. You can hear and feel that this rung is a little bit different than the others, which reminds you to step safely onto the ground or the floor. You'll notice that you have ground cue on both sides of the ladder. You'll also notice that up here at the top, we have rubber bumpers. So if for any reason the ladder gets tipped over or blown over, you're protected so that the ladder isn't damaged when it hits the ground. When you're operating this in the A-frame position, always make sure that the spreader bars are completely locked into place. This has a potential to be a pinch point, so be careful of your hands here. To unlock the DSXL, we'll pull up on those spreader bars, fold the ladder up completely, and of course you can carry with either one shoulder or two hands, but the DSXL is prepared with tip and glide wheels, which will allow you to tip the ladder, and now you can roll the DSXL off to its next job. If for some reason you need to move the ladder to short distances and you want to drag the ladder this way, the DSXL is prepared with feet that have metal armor so that you can move the ladder this way without damaging the rubber feet. Couple of quick reminders here. Always choose the right ladder for the job, set it up correctly, maintain 3 points of contact when you're climbing both up and down any ladder. This is the DSXL by Little Giant Ladder Systems.
Hi, I'm Dave Francis, National Safety Director for Little Giant Ladders. I want to introduce you to the AIRDECK with handrail. Now, the AIRDECK is a great little working platform, has some cutouts for some nuts and bolts, some holes for your tools, has a gallon paint rim, and you can pop out this center for a quart or for holding power tools. Now, it attaches to several of our products, and in some of them, it'll go on 2 different ways. On a select step, you can use the AIRDECK by putting it in horizontally and using it as a big work surface at the top of your ladder. If you need something to hang on to as you go a little higher on the ladder, take that out, turn it around, drop it in this position, and now that becomes the handrail at the top of your ladder for you to hold on to and maintain 3 points of contact. In this position, simply push the AIRDECK at the bottom out, and it will lock into a working surface at the top of your handrail. To bring that back down, push the buttons on both sides and allow that to telescope back down, and then squeeze the handles at the top, releasing it